Why? Ah, there it is. Ta-da! Okay. Recording in progress over here. All right. We'll give it a couple minutes so you guys can log on. That is down at the floor, not up at me. That's better. Good. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of stretching in my hip over the last couple of weeks. And that's been great. But then my body started signaling that it didn't need any more stretching in my hip and that it needed some stability work. So I've been doing some banded work, some single leg RDLs, that kind of stuff to stabilize through my hip. And so today we're going to do some thoracic work. I've got some tension in my upper back, in my shoulder blades. So we're going to do some stretching through there. Um, yeah, I have a pillow here just in case. I'm actually going to use it to support this hip today as I'm sitting here because it feels a little bit uncomfortable. I might switch out so that that foot is forward and see how that feels. I might bring that blanket here. So following what feels good in your body, if you want to use a pillow or a blanket to support, you are welcome to. We're going to start with a breathing exercise today. Oh, I just ran my fingers through my hair. My hair is so funny right now, so I can blow dry it. I literally took the blow dryer, blow it whatever direction it goes or that I want it to go, and it just stays there, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, go ahead and come to your mat as you're ready. Settle in. I think I'm actually going to put this blanket underneath my hips and see if that helps my left hip feel a little bit better. Give it some support that way. Yep, just that tiny little bit of coming up, and it made it feel not tension in that hip. So, if you're seated, you can have your legs extended if that feels more comfortable for you. You are welcome to sit in a chair. We're going to do some breathing first to get started, and then we'll go from there. Wherever you are, letting go of all the stuff from the day, just settling into your body. If you're in a safe space, maybe gently closing your eyes. And notice the way the breath flows in and out. Not doing anything to change it just yet, but just noticing that it's there. I find my back is a little bit uncomfortable just sitting tall. I might use, if you're having any tension in your back, you might turn around in a chair and support yourself that way. You could also use a pillow to support your upper body if you'd like. But just noticing those spaces as the breath flows in and out. Begin to deepen that breath, feeling it fill all the way into the belly, into the mid body, and then into the chest. I notice that mine is coming in and out of my mouth, so I'm going to transition it to focusing into my nose and out of my nose so I can regulate my nervous system that way. I'm finding today that because I did the work yesterday of giving my body the rest that it needed, I wasn't perfect at it. I did more activity than I intended to do, but I did have moments of purposeful rest throughout the day. I find that today I have a lot of energy. And so I want to go, 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 and do a ton of things. And knowing what that leads to down the road, that if I go, 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 go today, tomorrow and the next day, I'm not going to feel well. I am having to purposefully spend my time resting that energy, calming that energy. And sometimes that means that I sit and doom scroll through my phone, watching social media. And I find that that actually creates more chaotic energy for me because then I'm thinking about the things that are happening in the world and around me. I'm thinking about recipes and makeup and hair and cancer and all these different things. And that's not how I want to spend my energy. And that's not what I want the energy in my body to do right now. I want my body and my energy to calm, to settle and be comfortable in rest. So today, outside of my 20-minute stretching practice, I'm also planning a couple of minutes in there where I'm just going to lay on the floor in Shavasana, at least 5 minutes, hopefully 10, just calming myself. I'm going to do a guided meditation for myself where I start at the soles of my feet and work slowly up through the body, feeling the different parts of it. But being purposeful with my time and with my energy and with my breath. I need some movement through my spine today. I can feel that. So I'm going to lift up tall through the crown of my head, taking some of that compression off of my spine by engaging the muscles of my torso and my backside body. And then expanding the breath into all those spaces. Specifically, my back in between my shoulder blades, I can feel tension there. So breathing into those spaces, but also breathing into the opposite side. So expanding through the chest, I can feel that because I've been rounded here and guarded and protecting over the last year, I can feel that I need to expand my chest to give my back some support. Because my back, if the front side of my body is rounded down, then my backside body is stretched. So in that lift up tall, I'm bringing my shoulders back, opening through my chest as I'm comfortable, and then breathing into those spaces. I feel myself wanting to stretch through my neck, so I'm going to inhale tall. And as I exhale, gently allowing my right ear to fall toward my right shoulder. This isn't a completely upright movement. Rather than thinking straight over to that shoulder, I'm thinking over and my chin gently tucks down. That gives me a nice big stretch through the left side of my neck. That feels like enough for me here. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, if it doesn't feel like it's doing anything or you want to feel something there, you might take your hand and place it on the top of your head, not pulling down, but just gently allowing the weight of the hand to deepen the stretch through the side of the neck. I find that sometimes I have this idea of stretching that I always need to be pushing too uncomfortable. It's not how I teach. I teach to find the edge of discomfort, but the way that I practice in my own body oftentimes is pushing into discomfort. And the truth of it is that any type of movement in the body, any type of stretching, whether you feel a whole lot of tension or not, is going to be beneficial for you. So maybe you don't push to discomfort today. Maybe you're like me and you just find an easy stretch. I can feel my shoulders settling down and getting a little heavier. I can feel that compression coming back in my spine. So I'm thinking of big inhales into my rib cage. Take one more big breath in here. Letting myself settle down a little more into the posture. Letting my shoulders be a little heavier. On my next inhale, my head comes up. I'm going to shake it out a little bit. I'm going to find some rounding. I can feel that tension in my back wants some rounding through the front. So I'm going to round, bringing my arms around, creating like as if you were going in for a hug on somebody that's littler than you. Just creating that big opening through the backside body. I can feel this is uncomfortable through my upper shoulders. I can feel that they're shrugging up towards my ears. So as I bring those arms back, I'm going to take my shoulders down and back, opening through the chest again. Take a deep breath in. Let your left ear fall toward that left shoulder. Chin comes down just a bit here. Opening up through that right shoulder. And just breathing into that space. Again, if you'd like to deepen the stretch, you might take your hand to the top of the head. I'm going to stay right here and breathe. Back, get heavy, thinking about deepening the breath and expanding into them. Take one more big breath in. Let it go. You inhale, let the head come back up through center. Shake it out through the shoulders. I'm going to move my pillow off to the side. I'm going to take some cat-cows. My feet are kind of tingly in that position. So coming to our hands and knees. Palms are underneath the shoulders and knees are underneath the hips. If you can't come to the floor today and you're doing this in a chair, you can take your hands to the tops of your knees. We're just going to find some gentle movement through the spine. So in this floor positioning, lifting up through all 10 fingertips, and then placing down the pinky fingers, ring fingers, middle fingers, pointer fingers, and thumb. Feel the way that that activates by pressing into all those fingertips. I can feel my low belly engaging. And then wrapping those elbow armpits toward the front of the room. Drawing the shoulders down the back. Finding that gentle tuck of the tailbone and activation through the pelvic floor. And then press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Breathe here for just a moment. If you're in that chair, sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to inhale, take the tailbone up, let the belly come down, finding a stretch through the front side body, opening up through the chest as your chin comes up. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, tuck that tailbone first, intentionally moving through the spine, one vertebrae at a time, rounding through the back and pressing the rib cage up toward the ceiling until the chin comes down to the chest. Breathe here. Holding in that tension, feeling the muscles of the arms working. Inhale, tailbone comes up. Exhale, rounding through. Follow the flow of your breath. Inhale to come down. And exhale to press up. This begins to feel like too much on the arms. You can bend at the elbows and come down. If it's too much for the knees, you might place a blanket underneath you. One more deep breath in. Exhale, press up one last time. And come through neutral spine. We're going to take the knees out slightly wider to press back for a child's pose for a moment. You might keep the arms extended long. Maybe bending at the elbows to place them on the floor. Like some thoracic rotation. So the thoracic spine, that mid back by our shoulder blades, the lower neck and above our hips. I'd like some twisting motion in there and some deepening of a stretch. So in this child's pose position, I'm going to walk my arms to one side, finding a deep stretch. So I've walked to the left, finding a deep stretch through that right side. I'm opening up through that spine first, side of the rib cage, below the armpit. Before I get into any twisting positions, I want to open that side. Not going to hold too long here. Probably 20 to 30 seconds. Breathing into that space, creating more space with the breath. If you're in the chair, you can reach the arms up overhead and then gently lean to one side, reaching long with your right arm. Holding here for 2 more full breath cycles. Next, inhale, walking through center. Taking a moment here, pressing the hips back. And then walking the hands to a side, the other side, reaching long through that left arm. Opening up through the rib cage beneath the armpit. Breathing into that space. I feel so much tension here. Rather than pressing deeply into it, which is my normal pattern, I'm just finding a stretch. Just a tiny bit of one. I'm going to bend that other elbow. And then just gently pressing to find a stretch and opening. Holding there for 2 more full breath cycles. And inhale, coming back through neutral spine. Feel that my knee is wanting something different. So I want to do thoracic open or rotation and opening. So I'm going to step up here. Can't quite see me in the other camera, but that's okay. So feet are out slightly wider than the hips. I'm going to turn to the side a little bit. So feet are slightly wider than the hips. You can adjust this position as much as you need to so that you can comfortably get low in the position. If you are, if you're not able, so we're coming down into a low squat here, a yogi squat, snap, crackle, pop, my legs went. If you're not able to get into that low of a squat, you can use something to support you. So holding on to something and holding yourself up in a position, adjusting as you need to come down. You can also do this in your seat. Here, I'm going to open up first. So pressing my elbows out against the legs. If you're in a chair doing this, you're going to cross your elbow over to your opposite knee and then open up. In this low position here, we're reaching in front of the leg and opening through the chest. And holding here. I'd like to make it a little bit more dynamic movement, so I'm going to switch out and go to the other side. You are welcome to follow me, switching between the 2 sides, or you might just hold in one. We're about halfway through. So if you are holding on one side, you might switch, you'll switch out to the other. It's good. It's nice to feel like I can stretch through my chest. I was told that the tissue on my left side after radiation will never be the same, and that it will always be tighter on that side. And as much as I believe them, because they are the experts, right, the medical experts, I also believe that we can do a lot in our body that they can't account for. So my hips are feeling real good here, but I'm going to come on down. Oh, I think that's going to be enough for me today. That felt really good. I'm going to switch to some foam rolling from here. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.